Whether you're dating someone, you're married, or you just want to go out with some friends, here are some eco-friendly date ideas or just eco-friendly hangout ideas. Now these are just 15 ideas that I could come up with. Of course, there will be a part 2 if there's interest, and leave your eco-friendly date ideas down below. Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste. And if I talk a little bit too fast for you, you can change the speed of the video with the gear icon right here. Date nights don't have to be wasteful, and some of these are even low cost or free. I love when zero waste and budget living go hand in hand, so let's go ahead and get right into it. This one is to paint pottery. It's very, very low waste, but it can be a little expensive, but it's so much fun as well. If you have never done one of these before, basically all of the pottery is already made. It's just a white blank canvas. You go in, you pick your colors, you pick your design, you pick your piece, and then you paint it. And that's all you have to do. The business does all of the glazing and the firing, and then they deliver it to you in a week. Well, you go back and get it in a week. And I think this is just a fun way to go and chat with somebody, whether that be your friend or your date. And you can even make it more cute and romantic by painting something for each other or something that reminds you of each other. And what a fun way to support local business. Honestly, that's the overall theme of this video, is to go to your dates at local businesses. Maybe with the exception of the next couple, because the next one is to go to a movie. It's a classic, but I couldn't help but include this on this list because of how low waste it is. It's usually a decent price. Go to the matinee for more money savings. It's fun, it's entertaining, and you can keep the date going afterwards by going to dinner and then talking about the movie that you watched. If you bring or buy candy, look for a low waste option, something that comes in recyclable material or just the least amount of packaging as possible. Or you could even do a lower cost or at home option by borrowing a movie from the library, going to a Redbox, or just streaming on a service that you're already paying for. You can make popcorn from scratch to reduce waste. You can make a meal yourselves. You can make a dessert. And this could be a full at-home date night. Another fun date for adventurous folks is to go to a theme park. And the only real waste with this is the ticket for admission and maybe driving if it's a little bit of a far distance. I think the key here is to avoid the gimmicky merch, the wasteful food, and some parks will also let you bring in a cooler. Of course, they have to inspect it to save money on food and also reduce waste. And they may let you also bring in your own water. If you do have to buy stuff in the park, just opt for stuff in recyclable materials, and hopefully the parks recycle. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Plus, if it's a bit of a drive, it gives you time to talk to one another, connect with one another, and also maybe support a local business like a cafe or restaurant on your way to or from. A fun at-home option is to make candles together. Actually, you can probably go find a business that will help you do this as well. I know there are some candle making shops, workshops, classes, candle making cafes that you can go to and actually take a class. Or you can make candles at home too. All you need is wax, wicks, a jar, and something to melt the wax. I believe that's it. Optionally, you can add scents and colors, but ultimately you don't need this. If you want an easy way to do this, I like Everly candle refills. They come already scented. They give you all the supplies in a nice little bioplastic bag, and the only thing you need is a microwave. But you can also buy all of the supplies separately, the wax, the wicks, the jars, or you can thrift the jars, actually, and then do every single step yourself at home. You get to learn a new skill. It's pretty fun. It's really easy. Everly way is really fast. The DIY way takes a little bit of time, but this gives you time to chat with one another, maybe do something else. You can throw on a movie while you make candles. You can make some dessert at the same time you're making candles. And when you're done, now you have a gift for one another, a gift to enjoy together, or gifts to give other people. Another classic at-home date night is to cook together. And I think this is a great way to also learn about one another's skills, like who's the chef, who's the sous chef, who's better at baking, who's better at cooking, or maybe neither of you are good at either and you just end up ordering takeout, whatever. I hope that you just enjoy it and have fun. Try a new recipe. And you can make this really low waste by supporting local businesses to get your food, maybe a farmer's market now that it's springtime, and also make it meatless. If you can, make it vegan to reduce your impact. And you can also pair it with some wine that you find locally and eat it on, regular plates and dishes instead of disposables. This can be really, really eco-friendly, a lot of fun, and also just really romantic. But again, maybe you're not so talented in the kitchen. Instead, go out. You can get takeout, or you can just go out to a restaurant to reduce waste that you don't need to get all of that plastic takeout. And also support a small business. I'm not saying small businesses are perfect, but inherently they are less wasteful than a franchise like Applebee's or Panera Bread. It's usually higher quality, locally procured, and of course you also get to keep your money in the local economy instead of giving it to a $1 million or $1 billion corporation. You can make it fancy, you can make it quick, whatever you prefer, whatever your tastes are. But you could also try a new restaurant to you guys, and bonus points if this restaurant uses actual physical reusable plates and cups and dishes. I said reusable plates on an Instagram recently and people got so mad at me, like, ma'am, that's just a regular plate. I'm like, yeah, I know, but disposables are so common. The opposite of disposable is reusable. Let me know your thoughts down below. A fun idea for outdoorsy folks is to go on a hike, and going on a hike is literally so low waste. You get to experience nature, and it can be a fun challenge to do something together that's like physically. It's a great way to work on your teamwork, your communication, your navigation skills. It's so much fun to explore a new area, go see something new, enjoy a nice day outside. And the only waste is really the gas getting to and from the trailhead and maybe your snacks, but you can do snacks low waste as well. If you want more tips for how to be zero waste outdoors, you can check out this video. Maybe hiking isn't your thing. There are other outdoor rec options that you can do for other date ideas, such as just renting outdoor equipment and going and doing whatever activity that may be. That could be paddleboarding, kayaking, canoeing, mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, whatever it may be. And the cheapest and lowest waste way to do this is by renting. Instead of saying, I've never mountain biked before, we should buy 2 mountain bikes, which will probably cost you several $1,000s, just to say, oh, I don't like this hobby and now that bike is going to waste. Instead, just rent it for under $100. Yeah, if you want me to dive into the importance of renting, let me know, because renting is one of the most eco-friendly things that we can do for books, for gear, for tech, for clothing. And this can also be a fun way to try a new hobby without having to commit the time and physical items to it. And what a fun way to spend time with each other outdoors. The next few are the total opposite. They're gonna be cozy vibes. The first is to go visit your local bookstore. This could be a secondhand bookstore or a new bookstore. Another interactive step that you can take for this is to look for a book for each other. Again, a brand new bookstore might not be the lowest waste option as possible, but it is better for the environment than supporting somebody like Barnes & Noble. And you can pair it with the next idea, and that is to go to a tea shop. Dan and I did this in Spokane. I surprised him with this. I surprised him with going to the local bookstore, picking out a book, and then we went across the street to the local tea shop, and it was so much fun. So while we didn't really interact with each other a whole lot on this date because we were browsing for books and then reading at the tea shop, it was still just a lot of fun to go to check out these local businesses, see what each other was reading, see what each other's tea tastes are. Alternatively, if you actually want to spend time talking to one another, you can go to the tea shop, you can play a game, you can chat. And these tea shops are so much fun. Usually they're served in reusable cups and everything, and you get to try so many different teas without having to commit to buying a whole pack of it and not liking it and then it going to waste. But also go check out a board game store. If you have never heard of this before, this is more common than I thought it was, is just game stores. And also a lot of them have tables where you can try the games yourselves without having to buy the game, not liking it, and then it going to waste. Similar to the tea. Some of them also will rent the games to you for however long you want them. The one that we tried in Las Vegas had different rental periods. You could try it for a day, a week, a month, however long you wanted. You just paid per day. And then you get to try out these games before you actually buy them. And again, what a great way to support a small local business. A very easy and free date idea is to just go to the library. Again, you can pick out a book for one another. You could find a movie to watch that night. Maybe there's some activities going on at the library where you can learn a skill or learn some information. Basically what I'm saying here is pick your local library for potential date ideas. A really popular date idea, like at home date idea, is to do a craft together, but I see people doing this pretty wastefully. They'll go to a big box store, they'll buy a bunch of stuff that they probably won't use at all. So instead, make it sustainable by shopping at a secondhand craft store. Once again, a great small business that you can support. And now it's all stuff that was destined for the landfill that you get to use instead of buying a bunch of new stuff. It'll also be significantly cheaper. You could paint pictures of one another, start a scrapbook together. You could make bouquets of fake flowers. The ideas are endless, so I recommend going to Pinterest if you're looking to do a craft together. This one's classic, but it's a little bit cheesy, and that is to go stargazing. But it really is so much fun. It's so low waste, it's free. I mean, you have to pay for a little bit of gas to get to a dark sky area, but all you really need is a blanket, some drinks, some snacks, maybe a guide that will tell you what the constellations are. You could go on a meteor shower night, you could go on a night where Aurora Borealis will be out, you could go on a night where the moon is doing something cool, or you can just go on any old night and try to identify a constellation. And lastly for today is to go ice skating. Once again, another classic, but also really low waste. The only thing that you need is a pair of skates that you'll probably rent, you'll probably give back. Don't steal them. And if there's an indoor rink near you, you can go any time of the year. It's a great way to beat the heat in the summer or enjoy the winter weather. You might make a fool of yourself. You might end up being a pro. This can be a great way to build teamwork and also, learn to not be embarrassed around each other. So regardless, have fun, pair it with dinner at a local restaurant, and you have a perfect date night. That's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found some inspiration in it. If you have any more ideas, leave them down below. I would love to make more videos in this series, maybe make it a series. Thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next video, but until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye guys.